Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. Welcome to another episode of Sports News Flash at 12 with your weekend sports anchor, Miguel Mike Medina. And for this episode, I have no script in front of me, no papers, no nothing. I decided that I'm going to dedicate this episode about Home Run Derby and All-Star Game memories. So, and if you follow me on Baseball Heat Podcast with Mike on Spotify, I'm going to be dropping an episode for tomorrow discussing with a special guest of mine who is one of my close friends. And we're going to be talking about our top 5 favorite Home Run Derby moments and memories. So in this one, I recently, which was yesterday, I saw most of the 1993 Home Run Derby. It's been 30 years, and what I like about this Home Run Derby is that it took place in Camden Yards, and I believe this was their first or second season that Camden Yards was there, because they debuted in 92, 93, I don't remember, but it's one of my favorite ballparks in baseball. I went in 2019. And I had an amazing time there, and I definitely would consider going back over there. That warehouse in right field gives that stadium the ultimate boost. But in this 1993 Home Run Derby, you had so many terrific hitters. You had Ken Griffey Jr., Juan Gonzalez, Barry Bonds, Bobby Bonilla, Cecil Fielder, Mike Piazza, Albert Bell. I mean, so many good hitters in one competition. Juan Gonzalez ended up winning the competition by defeating Ken Griffey. And the competition was so different. The rules were so different in Home Run Derby back then compared to now. I feel that the competition now is better because instead of getting 10 outs, you have a time clock. So I feel that one works better than, getting 10 outs. I'm not too sure how I feel about the seeding. I mean, because now they have like this person against this person against that person in a tournament. I don't know how I feel about that. I remember in the 98 Home Run Derby, they did it American League versus National League. So, but, rules are meant to be changed from time to time. But, yeah, that 93 Home Run Derby was interesting because of all those hitters that you see there. I know at the time they weren't as fully appreciated, but now that we look back 30 years later, so many big names there. You had a couple of Hall of Famers there. In my mind, in my opinion, Juan Gonzalez is a Hall of Famer, but supposedly there were rumors about him taking steroids. I mean, it was the steroid era, but Juan Gonzalez was a prolific hitter. He was the man in the 90s with those Texas Rangers team. I always wonder, had it not been for injuries, he would have accomplished more. But yeah, that man was a force to be reckoned with in the 90s. The very first Home Run Derby that I saw was the one in 2000. It took place in Atlanta, Turner Field, and I loved it because Sammy Sosa, who was a big household name at the time, he won the competition, and he's Dominican, so I was very happy for that. And it was the very first year that I saw a competition. He dethroned Ken Griffey Jr., who won the competition in 94, 98, and 99. So, but it was Sammy Sosa's second round performance that really got the crowd in the mood. But I miss the old ESPN. I miss the old ESPN, the classic ESPN. I just can't believe how unwatchable ESPN is nowadays. The Home Run Derby, I still watch it to this day. It's still fun. It's still exciting. I like seeing new competition. I like seeing these young hitters put on a show. That's why 2019 was amazing, because Jock Peterson and Vlad Jr. were going at it in the semifinals. Pete Alonso won the contest at the end, but Jock Peterson and Vlad Jr. gave us something that we will never forget. Even Julio Rodriguez last year, he gave us a show. I wish he could have won, but I wasn't disappointed because he lost to Juan Soto, and both guys are Dominican, so I'm happy that it was a victory overall for us. Let's see. Of course, Bobby Abreu. He hit, I believe it was 24 in 2005, and he won the competition. But then Josh Hamilton came in 2008 with 28 at the old classic Yankee Stadium. But then that all changed in 2019 with Vlad Jr. and Jock Peterson. I feel that the Home Run Derby contest has gotten better and better as the years goes by. But man, when I think of so many good Home Run Derbies, I think about 2000, 2002, 2011 with Robinson Cano and his father, 2015, Todd Frazier, the Top Father, Bryce Harper in 2018, 2019, and even last year it wasn't bad either. So I'm really looking forward to this year's contest. Who do I think is gonna win? Oof. I'm gonna go with either Pete Alonso or Julio Rodriguez. I need to look at all the names. Ali Rutschman is my sleeper pick to win the contest. But I'll say it's either Pete Alonso or Rodriguez. I feel that Julio Rodriguez is coming back with a vengeance. So, but yeah, I'm just looking forward to the competition. I love home run derbies in the summertime on a Monday. When I was little, when I was younger, if I had summer school, I used to hate it because that means I would have to go the next day to school. But I've been very fortunate that most of the time I had nothing to do the next day, which was Tuesday. So, but man, I love home run derby. I love that way more than the All-Star game. In terms of the All-Star game, the very first one I saw was in 2000. I saw Derek Jeter win the MVP. That was the year where I became a big fan of Derek Jeter, and he's one of my biggest idols to this day. But 2000 was a magical year for him. He won the MVP of All-Star game. He won the World Series MVP. He was 25, 26, so he was on top of the world. The All-Star game that I hated was 2002, and if you guys know, like, I'm not gonna repeat it. You guys know what happened at 2002 All-Star game. 2003 was one of my favorites because Hank Blaylock hitting that clutch two-run home run in the 8th. In 2008, it was special because it was the last season at the old Yankee Stadium. And I remember that George Steinbrenner was driven from, like, they were driving him around the stadium because he was sick at the time. So he ended up passing away in 2010. David Ortiz last All-Star game. And unfortunately, little did we know that that would turn out to be Jose Fernandez's last All-Star game as well. So I remember when Jose Fernandez walked Big Papi. Big Papi, it kind of like gave him that look like, really? But then, you know, Jose Fernandez smiled, and Big Ortiz, you know that he has a big personality and he won't take it to the heart. But yeah, that was a 2016 All-Star game. The 2013 All-Star game at Citi Field, Matt Harvey was the starter. He was phenomenal, but this was more about Mariano Rivera in his last season, his last All-Star game. He won the All-Star game MVP, so I was happy for that. So for All-Star game, like, I really, from the top of my head, I don't really much have that many great memories compared to the Home Run Derby, because I'm more of a Home Run Derby kind of person than the All-Star game. So I even like the celebrity softball game more than the All-Star game. So I need to see, I'll check the highlights to see who will be participating in the celebrity softball game, because you have the old players and actors or singers, you know, who come together and participate in a softball game. So, and who knows, in the future I might participate in that if I get the invite. So, but All-Star weekends are fun as long as, you know, they bring that excitement. So I'm looking forward to the Home Run Derby. Like I said, I feel that it has gotten better year after year after year, and I can't imagine, and I don't want anyone to call the Home Run Derby but Chris Berman. He brings that emotion, that excitement, and it's funny because I like Chris Berman to call out the Home Run Derby, but if it's like a postseason game, like in the old days when MLB postseason games will be on ESPN and he will call all those games, I wasn't really a big fan of Chris Berman calling those games. But if it's the Home Run Derby, I definitely like hearing his voice for that competition. Well, that does it for this episode of Sports News Flash at 12. I hope you guys have a lovely Sunday. Continue to enjoy your summer. It's July, arguably the hottest month of the year. And enjoy Home Run Derby. Enjoy the All-Star game. So I'll see you guys next Sunday. Take care, and may God bless you all.